enhancement tool. Now, have you heard of that? Performance enhancement tool? Well, in case you have not, or if you have, but of course you need more information, I have a guest with me in studios, and I expect later on to be joined by another guest as well. But let me kick it off with the early bird that catches the worm. Now, join me, welcome Joseph Sinabulia, who happens to be the Principal Information Maintenance Officer at the Judiciary. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much, our moderator. I'm happy to be on UBC TV to sensitize the masses on the new innovation of the performance enhancement tool. And our dear viewers, I greet you all this morning of Tuesday, and I thank you for tuning in to UBC TV.
Now, to begin with, this is, I think, abbreviated as PET. Now, when you talk about the performance enhancement tool, what are we talking about?
Thank you, our moderator. When we talk about the performance enhancement tool, abbreviated as PET, it is a new system that we are introducing in the judiciary to replace the manual system of appraisal that we've originally had. So this system is based on the internet, and it requires you to have data in order to be able to access it. It requires you to have a username and password, especially for the internal users to be able to access it. The main objective of this system is to ensure that performance evaluation and reporting is adequately done within the judiciary and across all staff levels. Originally, we did not have a performance measuring tool, performance measurement tool for especially judges. But with the introduction of this PET tool, we've incorporated components that are intended to measure the performance of judges based on the unique nature of cases that they handle. Because most of them handle a wide range of cases: land matters, family matters, civil matters, and criminal matters. Now, the old public service assessment tool did not put into consideration the complexities that are involved in handling cases. So the uniqueness of the nature of their work was a deterrence for them to use the public service appraisal form for measuring their performance. Now, with the introduction of the performance enhancement tool, we've incorporated a number of modules, of which include performance planning, performance monitoring, performance evaluation, reporting, and then capacity building and development. So those are the 5 key modules that are incorporated in this system. On top of that, we've incorporated what we refer to as the case weight. Now, instead of simply counting the number of cases that a particular judge or magistrate has completed, we are now going to attach a weight in terms of points that are attributed to a particular case that you've completed. This came into consideration because we looked at the categories of cases that are being handled by the judicial officers. When you look at a criminal case like the one of Katanga that has gone on for all this period of time, you cannot compare it to a family matter of merely application for divorce. So the weights, the ingredients, the evidence that is presented, as well as the complexities, the number of lawyers involved, the number of witnesses that you have to present, the exhibits that you have to present and evaluate. That's a lot of information, which requires you to invest a lot of time in order for you to be able to complete such a matter. So there are particular weights that we've attributed to each and every case that is being handled by a judicial officer in this system. Now, the other unique aspect of this system is that originally the public or the external stakeholders did not have a role to play in as far as the evaluation of our staff and judicial officers is concerned. With the introduction of this performance enhancement tool, we've involved 7 categories of users, including the appraisee themselves. So there are scores that are attributed to each of those 7 actors, including the public, the lawyers, and the prosecutors. So there are specific marks that are attributed to each of them. For example, you as the appraisee, you have to award yourself 15 marks in this appraisal, 15 out of 100. So that is attributed to you. At the end of the year, you have to assess yourself and check whether you had planned to complete, under your target, you had planned to complete, say, 200 cases. When it comes to the end of the year, you will ask yourself questions. Have I been able to complete these 200 cases? Then you start awarding yourself marks in those areas. Then you look at your behavior competencies. Have I been able to interact very well with my colleagues? Have I inspired others? Did I communicate effectively? So there are other behavioral competences that are also involved in evaluating you yourself. So we evaluate you on the key performance indicators. Those are the technical abilities. Then we come to the behavioral competences where we have the core and non-core competences. So there are 15 marks that the appraisee is supposed to award themselves. Now we bring in the supervisor. Initially, the appraisal was between the appraisee and their supervisor, or the appraiser. Now with the 360-degree evaluation model that we've introduced, the supervisor has only been given 35 marks out of the 100 that is supposed to be awarded to you. So he also evaluates your key performance indicators, your core competences, and the non-core competences. Then the third actor that we bring in this 360-degree appraisal model is the peer. So if you're a judge of the land division of High Court, a fellow judge in that division of the land will be able to evaluate you on your core competences and the non-core competences, then award you scores. So out of 100, your peer is supposed to award you only 20% of those scores. The other actor that we've included in this 360-degree evaluation process is their subordinate. So when you go to court, you do not work alone. You work with your clerk, you work with the interpreter. All these are court staff that you work with. So that subordinate that you work with has an input in your evaluation. So we have granted them a score of 10% to contribute to your performance. So they only evaluate you on your behavioral competences, the core competences and the non-core, in terms of accountability, communication, respect, courtesy. Those are the areas that they will be evaluating you on. So they only award you 10%. Now, among the external stakeholders, we've included the lawyers or the advocates. These ones are supposed to participate in form of a tool. There is a survey tool that we put up, which is based on the core values of the judiciary: equality, professionalism, those are the respect, and so many of them. So they are supposed to evaluate you using a survey tool. We ask them questions and they rate you on a scale of 1 to 5 for each question that they respond to. Then they are supposed to also give us reasons as to why they are awarding you very little marks or why they are scoring you highly. So we are interested in picking the comments that they provide to us. If a judicial officer is very corrupt and we realize that out of the 10 respondents that we've issued this survey instrument, most of them are saying, giving the same comment, you are a corrupt judicial officer, then we as the judiciary have to take an extra step in ensuring that we address the issue that has been raised by the respondents. So the advocates only contribute 5% in your evaluation. Then we have the prosecutors. Those are the government lawyers who represent the government in criminal matters. So those ones are also supposed to participate in this evaluation. And they are only entitled to awarding you 5% of the scores that you are supposed to be evaluated upon. But they also evaluate only the core competences and the non-core competences. They don't go to the technical abilities of your performance. Then we have the general public, the wananchis who bring cases to our courts. Now, we believe that since our major goal is to serve the public, we already say the public are our bosses. So we have this time round included them in the appraisal process. Now, on your performance evaluation, the public or the ordinary litigants contribute 10%. But that contribution also comes by way of the performance survey tool that we shall be issuing out to them. I know many of you might be worried that most of the litigants might not be tech savvy and might not be able to use the online tool. We've also provided an option of the offline tool. So we have set up a team that will be going to courts, most especially the upcountry courts that are outside Kampala, and issuing them these survey tools to be able to respond. Then we shall be able to pick those responses and input them into the system and find the average score that we would have gathered from the external stakeholders. So generally, that's how the tool is going to be working.
I love the fact that you've elaborated the content and how the tool is going to be working. Now, what is the purpose of this tool? Or on behalf of the public, where do we benefit?
Okay, thank you very much, our moderator. The main objective of bringing this tool, as we might all know, previously we did not have a particular method of assessing the judges, and we are always grappling about the big problem of backlog in our courts. If you do not have a measurement tool, there is no way you can deal with the monster that you have in the house. So, as we are grappling about the problem of backlog, we did not have a mechanism of measuring the performance of our judicial officers. Much as we are regularly recruiting judicial officers and bringing on many more judicial officers to be able to deal with this problem of backlog. Now, many of you outside there are complaining that your cases are delaying in courts. And we are all asking ourselves, why are they delaying in courts? And we are looking for means of addressing this big problem of delay of hearing of cases in court. Now, with the introduction of this tool, you as an external stakeholder, you are going to benefit in such a way that we are now going to be able to track the performance of judges and adequately deal with the problem of backlog. So we set targets. If a judge of high court is supposed to complete 300 cases, and they also have a role to participate in this evaluation. I doubt if at the end of the year, if you've only worked on 20 cases, you'll be there and say, okay, now much as my target was 300, I've only worked about on only 20 cases, let me award myself 50. Because at the end of the day, we shall ask for accountability and say, where are the 100 cases that you say you've worked on? So we have systems like IKIMIS that are enabling us now to track each case that is allocated to a judge, and from the time of filing to the time of completion. So we are tracking these cases. So we are going to use that same data that indicates how many cases you have completed per month or how many that you've completed per year to be able to correspond your performance in as far as the technical abilities are concerned. That is the key performance indicators. So we shall be assessing you based on that. But the public will also benefit in one way or the other. Originally, we've been receiving several reports on issues to do with corruption, issues of delays. But now with the introduction of this tool, we are now going to capture the evidence that we did not have against our judicial officers. Many of us who are grappling, we wait for court open days, we come up, raise our hands, and we start submitting about how corrupt our judicial officers are, how corrupt our staff are. But now with the introduction of this tool, we are going to make sure that we track all those details. The comments or feedback that we shall gather from our stakeholders is going to help us improve service delivery in as far as disposal of cases is concerned. And now it actually rings a bell to each one of us who is working in the judiciary that now there is actually a tool that is permanently monitoring and evaluating our performance. So we expect that with the introduction of this tool, there will be improvement in service delivery. There will be an improvement in the time that we take to dispose of cases.
Well, with that to the public, yes, there will be accountability. And of course, now I'll be going for a break. And when I come back from the break, I'll have someone that I'm very sure, you know, when you've talked of judges, someone that I want to fire the question to, because in some situation, apart from a few judges that I've seen of late, these are more like demigods. And of course, it's hard for one to become a judge. Now, if they don't meet these obligations, because Uganda have very many laws, but the challenge has been enforcement or implementation. I want to hear from him, is there a possibility? What measures can be taken against a judge who, after this performance enhancement report, may be seen to be under-serving Ugandans? Let's go for this short break.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Juko. Yo. Wachiko. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Thank you so much for keeping it with us on UBC TV. We are now having on set, that is the Public Relations Officer, if I may use that word, but he is the Registrar of Public Relations Officer, His Worship, James Eremye Mawanda. Now he's joined us, and of course, when you hear that title, His Worship, now these are people who do some work on behalf of God on planet Earth, the judges. And the Bible talks about them very, very deeply, the judges. And Joseph had just given Ugandans a lot of hope, which is factual, that now with the performance enhancement tool, even the judges have been incorporated and will be able to fight case backlog. But first and foremost, let my guest greet my viewers.
Yes, our viewers, I greet you all in the name of Jesus Christ. I bring you greetings from the judiciary, the Honorable Dr. Flavian Zeija, the Chief Justice, wishes you a very wonderful year, a year full of prospects, and we are here to tell you the good news. Because, you know, we have always said and told the public that you are very critical participants in the administration of justice. And here, we want to emphasize that critical role, that we want the public to embrace, take on with one heart, and add a value to this performance enhancement tool. In so doing, we shall then achieve a holistic purpose, where service delivery, issues to do with public relations, customer care, outputs will now be measured. And we want to think that the public at the end of the day will be satisfied. Thank you for watching, and please don't go away.
Now, I'll begin it with you, like I had earlier introduced.
Yes.
When you look at this performance enhancement tool, for example, UBC, we have assessments, and we have targets. And you set them, but you must achieve them. But there's also a penalty if you fail. Most when it comes to the appraisal and your contract has to be renewed. Now, judges, things are slightly different. You're not on contractual basis. You will hit expiration of the years upon and all that, which are also not very few, by the way. Now, with the performance enhancement tool, is there anything for a judge to be scared of? Are there any consequences? Because this is what will propel maybe the judges to go by.
First of all, you said that judges are demigods. Judges are not demigods. We are human beings like any one of us, any one of you. We feel, we breathe, we have all of the normal senses. There is nothing abnormal about being a judge.
When you're not before a judge,
yes,
Your Worship.
I'm telling you, and I will go to that point because I know where you're driving. We are servants of the people. And the moment you understand your role in this arena, you will fall in the right place. If you're a servant of the people, you have work to do. Like you alluded to UBC, even in the judiciary, we have targets. We have targets set for every judicial officer. And these targets, right from the magistrate grade 2, grade 1, chief magistrate, registrars, judges of the High Court, and the rest of the courts, we have set targets. And these set targets inform our performance. Now, the PET that we are talking about has now brought in very new dimensions. Dimensions that bring in other aspects of integrity, other aspects of customer care, other aspects of public relations, other aspects that will now have that holistic package that the Ugandan is expected to receive. Previously, we were most importantly focusing on case targets and those outputs. Little forgetting that public relations and customer care are integral parts of the entire service delivery. We were using the traditional public service appraisal system, which was not akin to the peculiarities of the judiciary. You understand that? So we had, as an institution, to come up with a customized approach on measuring performance. And once we appreciated that we are servants of the people, we had to broaden the appraisal scheme and bring in our wonderful bosses, the public, to make a point, to say something about what we are doing, how we behave, our integrity, our ethics. How do we relate with them, the public relations? How about the customer care? You were talking about, I know that's why I want to talk about the demigodism that you're talking about. It is something to do with the customer care. You see? The public relations. So if a public thinks somebody is a demigod, then there is a problem with the customer care there. There is a problem with their public relations. And so the PET comes in handy now to address, because the judicial officers, the staff of the judiciary are now going to be assessed by the people for whom they act like demigods. And that's very important. Now, you are asking whether these people have a mechanism if they fail to achieve certain things. Yes. Like in any appraisal system, if you are given set targets, and those targets are on, we have the core roles, and then the other related areas like public relations and customer care, etc. Now, if you fail, there are sanctions. There are sanctions, and these sanctions will inform the trends that we want to achieve at the end of the day. Certainly, a person who is performing very well will be applauded. We have a rewards system that will be put in place, and a sanctioning system for those who have fallen short of performance. Where we have serious issues, because you see, once the appraisal cycle takes on, we have a responsibility of studying that information. And that information may lead to, may give us an opportunity to appreciate certain needs. They could be training needs, they could be counseling needs, they could be mentorship needs, could be resources, it could be, so we study those reports. Number two, if it is a part in discipline, we have a disciplinary committee in the judiciary, so we sanction those people through the disciplinary committee. And if they are grave matters, we have the Judicial Service Commission, where we would refer such a people. Are judges scared? No, we are not scared. We are the owners of this tool. We have embraced it, we have accepted it, we have validated it. You see, every judicial officer, the Honorable Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Nzeja, has said this term. Previously, we have been running the judiciary transformation agenda, and we want to thank the Honorable Chief Justice Emeritus Chigamoy Ewunyitolo. He started with that transformation agenda. The new Chief Justice is here to strengthen that transformation agenda and even broaden it and ensure the Judiciary Strategic Investment Plan sector achieves what was left behind in SIP 5 and consolidate with what now we want to achieve in SIP 6. And all of these focus on enhancing access to justice. And at the end of the day, also changing the narrative, the image of the judiciary. You know, until we bring the public to participate, and we ourselves also embrace change, the image that the people are having out there will be hard to achieve. But here we are, we have ourselves started the fire. It is in our own house, but we are managing it. Our judicial officers have trained on PET. They know it, they have already started, okay, using the PET to measure their performance. And because they are aware what PET requires of them, they are ready to have those targets. Of course, we understand that every given target may be affected by certain other factors. But we are aware of those factors and we can still evaluate and positively give the right evaluation. What are we asking the public? We are asking the public, the judge, the prosecutors, the government lawyers, and everybody in this dispensation of the PET to apply the utmost honesty when they are filling in the information that they are sharing with us about a particular judicial officer or even a staff of the judiciary. Honesty. You see, honesty starts with me. If I'm not going to be honest when I am commenting about you, then you can see where the problem is.
Definitely.
But a good thing is the system is designed even to cater for some of those aspects where we can be able to tell that, yes, this is the opinion of X, but when we review it against the opinion of Y, we are able to make an appropriate opinion. So we are not worried. As a judiciary, we want to assure the public we are on top of the game. We have accepted change, and we want this change for the betterment of the administration of justice.
Well, for the betterment of administration of justice.
Yes.
And for us, the ordinary person, if case disposal is improved, then that is it. That someone goes to court and they know that within the shortest time possible, their case has been disposed of, rather than people staying there in court and you wonder, at what age did you report this defilement case? When I was 16 years. How old are you? I'm 32. Not yet disposed. Justice delayed is justice denied. But we hope with the PET, just like my guests have explained. Now, this takes me to ask Joseph. When was this thing launched? Are we yet to launch? You know, the trainings His Worship has talked about. For us, the public, when are you letting this out fully to us?
Thank you very much, our moderator. This performance enhancement tool was officially launched by His Excellency in the year 2019, and that was on the annual judges conference.
2019.
2019. Unfortunately, at that time, during the pretest, there are issues that had been identified and raised by the judges and other stakeholders. And amongst them was that there were no case weights. So this issue of only counting the number of cases that you've completed would not adequately allow us to measure the performance of judges. So we went back to the drawing board and tried to incorporate what we refer to as the case weighting scheme, where we analyzed each and every case category, the case type per court level. So you begin with the Supreme Court, identify all the case types and the case categories under Supreme Court, you start awarding a weight to each of them. It is a mathematically developed formula that we are using to determine the weight of this case based on the man hours that are specifically attached to each case that you complete in that particular category.
Now that is in the judicial understanding, but we continue.
So the amount of time that you spend to dedicate to completing this case minus the time that you spend going to the workshop, you spend attending meetings. So we only counted the man hours that you spend on completing this particular case. So that's how we came up with the case weights. Now, after completing the case weight, we did another pretest. And during this pretest, we also pretested the survey tool, because it had also not been adequately designed for the public users and the prosecutors. So we finalized that survey tool during this period of time, and we pretested it against the lawyers, the public, and the prosecutors within Kampala. And that's where the views that enabled us to provide a manual survey instrument came from. Then also other views encouraged us to put it online, especially from the lawyers who did not want to be identified while assessing the performance of the judicial officers before whom they appear. So with those views, we went back to the drawing board. We did an electronic survey tool that will be available online for the lawyers and the prosecutors who are tech survey that might not want to fill in the manual tool. So that's how we came up with those other improvements in the tool. And in October last year, the Chief Justice Emeritus, Alfonso Winyi Dolo, officially gave a flag for allowing this system to go live and start being used. So we are actually in our pilot phase. And we began with rolling it out amongst the chief magistrates and the grade 1 magistrates, together with the technical staff who are within the ICT department. So those are the pioneers that we've onboarded onto the system. So this year is going to inform us of the challenges that are involved in using this tool, and in terms of evaluating and monitoring performance. We hope that by the next financial year, we shall now be onboarding another category of judicial officers whom we expect to be judges, to be brought on board for purposes of measuring and monitoring their performance. So that's how we have gone through the stages of making it go live.
Your Worship, Eremie, so far regarding the PAIT, what have been the challenges? Those that are outstanding?
Of course, in every innovation, we have a bit of challenges. But we have a change management arrangement. Because you see, when you are introducing something, there can be some level of resistance. For instance, we have had some instances where advocates are saying we should be given more percentage marks. Because you see, we deal with these judges directly. Now, them accepting that the percentage that was allotted is scientific, well-reasoned, has always been a bit of a challenge. When it comes to the public, when we tell them that 10% is available to you to contribute to the assessment of this judicial officer, they equally seem to think they should have been given 80%. Now, explaining, educating, and leveling the ground for everybody to understand and it's a bit of a challenge. Judicial officers, this is a web-based technology, and some places we don't have internet. ICT knowledge is also, IT knowledge is also a little bit of a challenge. That creates a bit of an issue. What about the other users? Capacity to utilize the system. We have had now to employ the user surveys. We have a user survey tool that will have to be taken across the country, because we know so many places have no internet, and yet our users are out there, many of whom even are not even IT compliant. We are grappling with the rolling out. The pilot phase, we are working on it, we are moving on, but when it comes now to rolling out, we expect a lot of some challenges. But good enough, the team is all prepared. At every stage we take notes, we get back to the drawing board, we make improvements, and we move. The most important thing is that this tool is here to stay. And we are going to improve it from day one to the last end for as long as everybody embraces it and we achieve the purpose. What did I want to add on? Allow me to add on that the judiciary launched a new client charter. And that client charter sets the standards of service delivery. Yes. The Honorable Dr. Flavian Zeija launched the Client Charter 2026, and the standards of service inherent therein. If you had an opportunity, you look at it, you will appreciate that the judiciary is not the judiciary you had some years ago. This is a judiciary committed to ensuring that they improve service delivery, improve access to justice, enforce human rights, and above all, maintain good customer care. Another person may want to understand what is case weights and why do we have weights in the pet. My brother Joseph has talked about them, but you said it is because it is for us to understand those ones. The land people. But I want our viewers also to understand this. Why did we have to bring case weights? To start with, not all of these cases are the same in terms of how heavy. When we talk of weights, we are talking about how heavy something is. We have case categories. We have criminal cases, but even among criminal cases,
there are those ones.
They are heavy cases. I will give you an example.
I can't wait.
The 2019 bombing of Chadondo, the Chadondo case, where the Honorable Chief Justice Emeritus was the trial judge, the Chadondo bombings. Such a case cannot be treated the same like any other simple criminal case, simple robbery. It's very heavy. It entails a lot of research, it involves a lot of parties, witnesses, evidence, exhibits, many experts from across. Now, if you want to appreciate why that case has taken longer than ordinarily it should be, you need to appreciate the weight it carries. A land matter. Land matters can be very, very hot and volatile in some places. A land matter will carry a certain weight that was given to it, as opposed to a simple contract case. But even among contract cases, we have industrial contracts. We have industrial contracts. What about infrastructural contracts of government? Those are complicated cases. So, underpaid weights were given to these particular cases such that we are able to tell how long it will take in the system without necessarily disadvantaging the officer who has set targets of how many cases he must conclude within a given time. There are matters, one day it is concluded. Plea of guilty, there are matters that go in under plea bargaining. They are done. There are matters which end up in mediation. They are done. There are matters which are small claims. They are done. But there are those cases that take a protracted approach and therefore consumes a lot of a judicial officer's time and even other aspects involved, that a case weight is given to it. At the end of the day, when we are now assessing that performance, we are able to have that factored in, and the judicial officer will have very good performance. Even if he concluded only 3 cases, if he had such heavy cases in a given year and only managed to conclude 3, he is not disadvantaged against one who has miscellaneous causes of letters of administration, identification, of which are about 700. Some of them overhit the target because it's about disposal. So we are able to properly accord credit to these judicial officers. So that's why case weights were brought into this, because those cases are never the same.
Very true.
Yeah.
Now, coming back to you, Joseph, the public, of course, we have a contribution. We have
10%.
10%. Now, accessing this online, how do things work?
Thank you very much, our moderator. Now, for the public, over the judiciary website, www.judiciary.go.ug, we've put an information link that leads you to the performance enhancement tool. It is labeled PET. When you click on that link, it will open up a page where you will find a hyperlink that leads you to the survey tool. Now, there are instructions. The first page provides you with a brief of the instructions that are supposed to be guiding you on how you are going to fill this form. Now, after that first page, the questions will pop up. You have to identify the court where your cases are being heard. You also identify the name of the judicial officer that you are assessing. Then you provide us a few details, because our intention is to capture those litigants that have had particular cases before these judicial officers. We don't want someone to come from Kampala to go to Arua and evaluate a judge or a judicial officer when he has never even had a case before him. So we have to find out a few facts about the case that you had before him, either by way of the case number or by way of the party names. Then we shall start assessing, providing you the questions that you have to respond to. Now, like I communicated, that for those courts, especially up-country courts where we are having challenges in as far as internet connection is concerned, where people are not tech-savvy to use these ICT gadgets, we have a performance management sub-registry that has a team of members who are responsible for issuing this survey tool to the litigants. So they will be going across the country and meeting the litigants. They wait for court to end, then they get the litigants, they explain to them the purpose of their activity, and then they provide them or brief them about the questions for which they are soliciting feedback on.
How will that judge if the court session has not been in one's favor or relative's favor? Won't that create bias and then wrong assessment? I'm just figuring out. I was telling off air, Justice Seremie had a case in Kajansi. I don't know what I would have recommended for that. Though you talked of honesty, emotions.
Yeah. Because you see, we want our people to understand and appreciate what input we want them, what their role is in this dispensation and public participation in the administration of justice. Honesty is key. Just as judicial officers, we have told them, be of integrity, and honesty is an integral part of your integrity. So if we are not honest, that means that you are going to give us wrong information, which wrong information will definitely not assist another person. The information we share on PET is not only about you. It's about the entire administration of justice across the entire country. So honesty is very key. But of course, that is a very important comment, that somebody, because he has lost a case. Yes, if you lost a case and you lost it genuinely. Yeah. We have told the people, lose a case honestly.
When we go to court, if I win, the judge has been independent, justice has been served. If I lose, I knew.
It's another thing.
These ones eat money.
But the beauty, we have always told them that trial judge at first instance is not the last. The system is self-evaluating. There are processes that accord your redress if you are dissatisfied. Why don't we follow those ones?
Your Worship, have you forgotten that justice is expensive in Uganda?
And there's reasons why we want to make sure that we lessen the cost of litigation. We are doing all of these things in terms of ensuring that the cost of litigation is reduced. Coming up with the PET is to ensure that judicial officers stick to the code of conduct, they stick to the regulations, they stick to the practice that they're supposed to do, because we have timelines within which to perform our functions. And PET is here now to ensure those timelines are met. So anything that will come in by way of a cost, it should be that which just facilitates within those timelines. And we want to think that that will go. That's why we have also come up with other innovations, interventions that purely reduce on the cost. Mediation, ADR. ADR. Last week we had the whole conference on ADR, Gumzo conference. And the Judiciary, Ministry of Justice and other stakeholders were brainstorming on how to integrate ADR with AJS. That is African Justice Mechanisms. To focus
that
on...
That is the Matoput kind of?
Of course, that is the Matoput is part of ADR, mediation in Acholi, sub-region. Okay? So if our people across the regions, we embrace mediation, that is cutting the cost of justice. Those are innovations we are coming up. Pre-bargaining, still the same thing. Small claims, same thing. Reconciliation in small criminal matters, the same thing. What about arbitration? What about other aspects and areas of ADR? Embracing these innovations is very important. Very important.
Well, in the interest of time, but Joseph, you had a point you are driving home. Please briefly do that and also wind up.
Yes, thank you very much, our moderator. If I may supplement for purposes of reducing the bias, we looked into that issue and we said, okay, there is need for us to have an adequate sample space under which we are going to pick responses. If it was only one respondent, that would mean that if that respondent is aggrieved because he has lost a case, then he's going to respond with emotions. Now, if we widen the scope or sample space to about 10 or 15 respondents, and we find the average of the responses from all those respondents, then it will allow us to reduce the bias that would have happened. So that's the approach that we embedded into the system to ensure that we address the level of bias that might emerge out of those that might react and respond with emotions. Yes.
Now, let me have your parting shot as well.
Thank you very much, our moderator and our dear viewers, for hosting us here on UBC and for tuning in. I want to end by encouraging you to adopt and use all these innovations that we are bringing out as the judiciary. These innovations are meant to improve service delivery within the judiciary, to reduce on delays that we've been incurring in the process of administration of justice, and to ensure that justice is delivered efficiently and effectively. I thank you for listening to us.
Your Worship, as we move out of the studios.
As we move out of the studios, I want to reiterate the commitment of the judiciary to ensuring that we partner with the public. We have public participation in the improvement of the judiciary and its service delivery. We want to reiterate our commitment to ensuring that we shall always remain transparent, all inclusive, and we ask you to embrace all these innovations. The Honorable Chief Justice is committed to ensuring that tomorrow, starting now, judiciary will never be the same, but will be a people-centered judiciary, which is going to give you satisfaction when you come to us. When we ask you to join our crusade, we are asking you to support us. In all of these innovations and interventions, they are all intended to improve access to justice. May God bless you, and please visit our websites for more news and information. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Your Worship, and Senator Joseph, for having been part of the show. But above all, my bosses, you the viewer, thank you very much for being with us this morning. And to His Worship, please, when you go back, more so, the justices at these lower courts, when it comes to public relations, please take my message that more is needed when it comes to customer care. I've observed at least these higher courts, things are slightly different, but low there, remote areas, sometimes these become very hard for the ordinary person. And they tend to fear them. Even when you tell them, if you have a complaint, please, so I think we need to, that either you have more court open days or sessions or what.
And we shall continue having those open days.
Because
we have a toll-free line. Maybe I should...
Please do.
I should give them to those people who say, I have a problem X, Y, and Z, I need assistance. We have a toll-free line, 0800 111 900. And the other one is also 0800 225587. These are toll-free lines. Call in. If you have any issue, if you have been mishandled at some court, please call in. We would like to be of help. We want to assist you because we want to create a seamless service delivery. That is our toll-free line.
Thank you so much. And I've taken the word a seamless
yes.
service delivery. See you tomorrow. God willing, have the best of your day.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Maskari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together.